Jared, appreciate your time. Joe Biden, the 46th president, he's finally in the Oval Office. What did you make of the inauguration? What did you think of his speech? Did he strike the right tone?
Yeah, I think the speech was really reflective of where the United States is right now. It was not an exuberant speech. It was not a celebratory speech. It was really, as he's been campaigning now for many months, talking about restoring the soul of America, really taking a somber note, but also an optimistic note as well. President Biden really wants to turn the page on what he sees as a disastrous presidency in Donald Trump. And he wants to start anew and restore trust in the government, trust in the United States more broadly, and trust in the presidency as well.
And it looks like he's not wasting any time. He's already signed a number of executive orders relating to the handling of coronavirus, immigration, climate change.
That's right. The Biden-Harris team said since they won the election that they had four key priorities, which was responding to the COVID-19 pandemic, economic recovery, climate change, and racial equity. And he hit all four of those themes in his speech, as well as in his 15 executive orders that he just did today. Those are really huge. And while he did do some foreign policy, moved in some foreign policy areas like joining the Paris Climate Accord and related issues on that, at the same time, I don't think foreign policy was a major issue for him today. It may not be for the next few days. He and his team have really been talking about building back better, talking about making America more competitive and stronger and resilient at home before they take on the foreign policy challenges. So in terms of the implications for Australia, we still have to see where the Biden team is headed, because right now they're just focused domestically.
Yeah, which you can understand with so many challenges on the domestic front. What about Donald Trump? It seemed like he left Washington with little fanfare in the end. We'd all love to know what the note he left Joe Biden said. I wonder if we'll ever find out. What now for Mr. Trump? What's your expectation of how he'll progress from here?
Yeah, I think he's still trying to map that out himself. He clearly has a really strong base. In polling on his base is truly remarkable. Some 91% of Trump supporters continued to support his contesting of the election. That's after January 6th. And some 96% of Trump supporters said that he made the Republican Party better. And it's important to note, all those Trump supporters are there, whereas the traditional Republicans are not. Those who self-identify as traditional Republicans, only 56% of them supported President Trump or said that he made the party better. Some 46% wanted him to continue to contest the election. So for the first time in decades, there really is a question about whether he is going to make his own party or whether there can be a separate third party, because his base is not leaving anytime soon, and the Republican Party is increasingly uncomfortable with who he is and what he stands for.
And that was made very clear, wasn't it? In the last 24 hours or so, we saw some pretty strong comments from Mitch McConnell, essentially accusing President Trump of inciting violence in the Capitol. What is the attitude you're expecting to see now from some of the leaders within the Republican Party? I mean, it really is going to be a time of soul searching for them now.
Yeah, they're really trying to balance two competing forces right now. On one hand, they want to not alienate that really strong base that has turned out to vote for President Trump and really helped the Republicans not do as badly in the November elections as many thought. But on the other hand, most Republicans in Washington before President Trump got there do not like President Trump. They may publicly talk about how important he is, how great he is, but behind closed doors, I really have not met many Republicans who are as fond of him as they appear to be in public. They really do not agree with where he stands on a number of issues. You only have to look to 2015 to see where so many of these Republicans stand on President Trump, and it's remarkable how so many of these Republicans Republicans in 2021 have returned to their thoughts on President Trump back in 2015 and saying that he was dangerous and unstable and uniquely unfit for the office of the presidency. You know, you look at Lindsey Graham, you look at his former chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, you look at a number of senior Republicans, they all were pretty against President Trump. And it's pretty interesting how they've shifted their tone and then come back to where they were now back in 2015.
Jared Mondschein, we do appreciate your analysis always. Thank you for joining us on Afternoon Agenda today.
Thank you.